Welcome to Mi Estória with Leñador, a podcast series where people of color in Humboldt County can share their stories, experiences, and perspectives. In this episode, Alexis Roberts, otherwise known as the lead singer in the rising alternative band Queen Karma, shares her experiences with growing up as an alternative Latina in Humboldt County and how music has inspired her to be her most confident, authentic self.
Hello, my name is Alexis Roberts. I am a singer-songwriter. I play guitar, a little bit of cabasa. I've been taking that up in my mariachi band, and I am in a band called Queen Karma. I am a queer Latina alternative who lives in Humboldt County. I have lived here for 9 years, but I'm originally based in Torrance, California, and I am kind of really just I feel influenced a lot by living here and my family and my roots in music and creativity, singing, songwriting, even making jewelry. That's something that I've been taking up in my recent kind of spare time.
So how did you get started in music?
I would say from a young age, I was really inspired by my father, who even since I was a baby in the crib, would sing me songs on the guitar. And when I was young, I always just was a little singing bird. I would hear something and I would coo back. And when I got old enough to kind of consciously decide what I wanted to do with my life, I enrolled in choir, and that worked out well. And then in high school, I decided to be a part of the Arcata Arts Institute at the Arcata High School. Arcata High. And that honestly put me on a track of, I would say, the rest of my life, because I committed myself really 100% to music, and I saw a lot of local bands and some of my peers who were even in bands. I grew up with this band called Petty Ed that was popular in my high school, and that was something that motivated me to want to write my own music, and being given that opportunity to just create and freely be able to sing covers was something that I love to do, and I feel deeply connected with the emotions, the language, really the soul that goes into music. And as I got older, I went to college for music. I ended up taking piano classes, guitar classes, and then I ended up joining Mariachi de Humboldt, a new ensemble that's offered at Humboldt State that's crowdfunded by the Latinx youth and their passion to play music that is based on the culture and allow people of all backgrounds to learn and to grow. And that's inspired me a lot to just work on myself more as a musician, and to just really kind of consider professional opportunities and to explore more music.
And you're studying music here at Humboldt, right?
Yes, I'm a music major here at Humboldt State, and now I am going to be a sophomore, and it's honestly a dream to be able to do that, because when I was younger, I didn't think that I would be able to do that, because I never really saw people like me represented in music. But I decided that I just have to be the first me, and in order for me to see myself in that kind of space, I have to create it.
Do you remember the first time that you wrote your first song or started making music?
Yeah, that was in high school, when I was in the Arcata Arts Institute. We kind of had a program where it would be a rock band type of situation, where you would, with your peers, kind of make songs with people. And I would say that kind of kickstarted me into singing with a band. But I would say the first thing that I ever kind of really wrote was with my friend Ev. Me and them wrote this song called Nostalgia that was really beautiful, that kind of incorporated some original guitar, just kind of arpeggiated chords, and a really beautiful song that we both kind of wrote together. But I feel the one song that was my first real song in high school was this song called Best Years of My Life. Of our lives, that I performed at my high school graduation, where I literally, to all of my peers in my class, wrote a little song about what I felt like it was growing up in Humboldt, and how we were just churning the next chapter onto the best years of our lives. Kind of graduating during COVID was a really depressing time, and we dealt with a lot of dramatic losses in high school, and it was a really difficult time. But one of the silver linings was just being able able to like really express myself fully, like through my art, my fashion, like that. I would like literally like DIY from like free box, like trash clothes. Like I was just that person that wanted to be that like rocker chick, and I didn't care about like who other people thought I was. I knew who I wanted to be.
So what has that been like, making alternative music and performing alternative music in Humboldt?
I feel like when I was younger, I would always like dress up, and I felt like I was walking the streets like a freak, kind of like pissing off old people and like certain conservative people who didn't understand. Like once I went to like Sportsman Warehouse and somebody was like, I like your blue hair, because it's like they literally used the word like Indian skin to refer to me, and like that they said like that when they like painted those quote unquote people. Like I had never heard that term before. It kind of jarred me, but she said that they use like blue to highlight their hair, so she liked my hair for that reason. So like there has been like certain moments where like I felt like uncomfy, and like in my high school I was considered like that goth girl, like that everybody would kind of like talk about, but like no one really knew, and like was just kind of shy and just kind of laid back. But I was kind of a firecracker. I let people know who I was, and I felt through music was my way to kind of like get people to kind of understand those statements and what I was doing that was behind this alternative like label and subculture. Because at the time when I was kind of expressing myself, there was a lot of like new kind of gen things kind of coming in the scene, like being like an e-girl, and people didn't know if I was doing it for a trend or if like people thought I was like goth, quote unquote. But truly, I'm just a person who defies the norm and who is a little bit eccentric and a little bit different. And it's not about dyeing your hair or listening to like really hard music constantly. It's about like that passion and that drive and like those values at the core of yourself that really matter. And like for me, I didn't really like feel like I fit in at my school. Like not only was I like not really the kind of social like norm because I was weird, I suffered from mental illness, bullying, extreme trauma, and like during my high school experience I went through a lot and ended up like getting through that. But I also was like half El Salvadorian and half white, and I didn't understand my culture in a place where like the population felt like probably like 70 to 90% white, and like I didn't even see people who really looked like me at my school, like let alone like who even wanted to like be my friend or like get to know me. So like I was kind of like on the inside of the outside. Like people were watching my every move because they were like, where does this girl get that audacity from? But it comes from my family, and it comes from like that music that I listen to, where it's like you can't really tell me what to do because it's like inside my ears I'm hearing like Freddie Mercury, like don't stop me now.
I did want to ask you, who have been some of the most influential artists in your life?
For me, I definitely feel like there's just been like many seasons where different artists have like helped me through my life. But I feel like especially really guided by like Freddie Mercury. I would say he's like probably like my all-time kind of like inspiration, because he was kind of like considered like this weird person that kind of struck people and made them feel uncomfortable, but he was unapologetically himself. And I feel like I even quoted him in my yearbook, like really you can't like please everyone, so you might as well just be the very best you can be. And like his true beliefs is like you can be anything you like envision.
So it was the music that helped you mostly with confidence?
Yeah, for me like the music helped me like a lot with confidence. I also really listened to like a lot of kind of like other like kind of music, more on like the like kind of new wave side. Like I really loved like I guess like Flock of Seagulls is like a really good one. I really like The Cure, like more just like new wave bands. Like did I say Duran Duran? I love Duran Duran.
You haven't mentioned that, but yes. You're hitting all the top 80s right now.
Yes, like my parents were 80s babies to the core, so like I grew up singing like Stray Cat Strut, like Tainted Love, all of these like moody kind of like altruistic kind of like songs. And like even in my style, like I feel like I carry on like the 80s and the 90s, like even within the threads that I wear that like I pick off the street streets of Arcadia, you know? It's just taking, like, that with you and, like, realizing, like, that music is kind of like a time capsule. And, like, for certain people, it's, like, the best time of their lives. And I felt like my parents had the best time of their lives in the 80s. And, like, that kind of carried into, like, my music taste.
Can you talk a little bit more about your family's influence in your music?
Yeah, like, I already mentioned, like, my dad, since I was little, like, basically got me into guitar, bought me my first guitar, and, like, I remember I come from humble beginnings. Like, my family has really done a lot to just have the little that we do have, and, you know, like, my first guitar, like, I got it at the pawn shop, and I literally cried when I got it because I knew that, like, all that money was literally worked hard for. My mom has, like, been a special ed aide. She's, like, subbing, trying to get jobs, and she's literally has a heart of pure gold. Like, she just inspires me so much to be the breadwinner of my family, and that she inspired me at a young age. Both of my parents raised me with the mentality that I could do anything that I want and that I was expected to get a job, because as a girl, I could do whatever I wanted, and I didn't realize that they gave me such a big confidence and such big balls to conquer the world, you know, because, like, I didn't realize that other people were like those little boys from, like, kindergarten who were so sexist, who were so homophobic, who were so hateful, and, like, that I didn't see all of these obstacles that I was unknowingly overcoming, like, at a young age, but now I face them with all the courage in my heart, you know.
What advice do you have for other people when it comes to really channeling that confidence?
For me, I would say look at who you listen to the most and who you look up to the most. And for me, my music is kind of like my religion and what gives me the courage to continue on, because we hear these stories and we hear the spirit of the human soul, you know? And, like, that's really what inspires me and what gives me the drive to do what I do, because I realize that it affects just more than one person. Like, what you do literally can, like, change somebody's life. What I aim to do is just to make the world a better place and to just be kinder to people and to show people that there are people like you doing what you're doing and that you're not alone.
And right now you are currently fronting a band called Queen Karma. Can you talk a little more about that?
Yes, I'm the lead singer of a local band based in Arcata called Queen Karma. We started playing music last fall, and it's been an amazing time. We've started humble beginnings, booking gigs at Blondie's, doing, like, house parties, but we've recently branched out and we've gotten a lot further, I feel like, as a band than I even imagined. And for me, it's been a dream to have a band like another artist that I really look up to and who's, like, a real OG is Gwen Stefani, and no doubt that I feel so powerful being a female vocalist in a male-fronted band, because I'm not afraid to get vulnerable. I'm not afraid to call people out where they need to be, and I'm so thankful to have the love and support in a music industry that can sometimes be really sexist and even have more layers to, like, that kind of equation, because people just judge you so quick off the bat. And if you're a girl, people just sometimes don't even, like, consider you like a musician. They're like, oh, girl slay, like, and then they'll talk to, like, the drummer or, like, the bassist after the show and offer them, like, an actual job. But it's like, no, I am a musician and I do deserve, like, that credit. And I love everyone that I play with, and my band is consisted of me. I kind of write, like, the lyrics of the songs, like, the melodies, and then our bassist Ryan, he's awesome. He, like, makes, like, some original songs too and structures them amazingly. Amazing bassist. And then my boyfriend Gavin, he keeps the rhythm, the heartbeat of the band. And then AB, he is filling in on the keys. We just met him this year. He's like been amazing, and I hope that he is with us on this journey as long as he stays with us. He's been an awesome extra to, like, the band and just has, like, made things sound more cohesive. We've needed more rhythm and melody. And then did I mention our guitarist Bailey? Bailey is really, like, the passion and the heart and soul, the Buddhist, like, kind of like yin and yang, like the polar opposites. Like, sometimes we love him, sometimes we hate him, but he's Bailey. boy, and he's part of the gang, and we love him so much. He's awesome. And without him, we wouldn't have a band. He's the one who rallied us together. He, like a movie, we should make like a short film, because he put up a poster. It was like, looking for a band, like looking for a drummer. That's how we all met. So it's really been fun.
What are you looking forward to in the future of your music career?
I am so looking forward to doing more events. Recently, Queen Karma played a show in the SAC. I'm looking forward to booking more formal events, finding like venues that will be able to host us. So for anyone listening, Queen Karma is a multifaceted band that has a kind of fusion sound of kind of garage rock, indie rock, kind of sometimes R&B, jazz influences, and a little metal, pop metal influences. But we kind of just have like our own sound, and we're working on recording our album and shooting a music video. So I'm just like extremely stoked and excited, and I am so looking forward to creating an artist community in Humboldt. And if anyone wants to reach out and talk to me, my Instagram is at Star Guitar with 2 R's at the end, and our band account is called Queen Karma Official. And I would love to just talk to other creatives. I'm also a visual artist, so I design flyers. I'm so excited to create more art, and I also do vending, so I'm excited also equally to support fellow musicians and other vendors by sharing my jewelry, which I create with like crystals and recycled jewelry. Like, you know, when you lose an earring and you're like, this, like, it's the end of the world. It's like, no, it isn't.
Thank you so much for sharing your experiences.
Yes, thank you so much. I just feel so honored to be able to be in the studio here with you right now. Like, it's been like a dream come true. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And then do you have any final thing to say to Humboldt County?
The last thing I have to say to Humboldt County is that if you have something different about you, like you don't fit in, you like think you're too this, too that, like you don't fit in with this social group, yada, 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 just let your freak flag fly. Just be you, dye your hair, listen to the music that you want to listen to, DIY your life, like literally like teach yourself how to play guitar. I taught myself how to play guitar at like 15 years old, and it changed my life. Being able to just have the tools to express yourself is so necessary, especially in this time post-COVID. Just be yourself and unite with other people, because we're one. And check out our band Queen Karma at Queen Karma Official. Signing off.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Mi Estória with El Leñador. For more content, visit our website, elleñadornews.com.